Alright, so in the first video we kind of discussed overall what our class is going to look like, what the spaceship class is going to look like, what it's going to do. I'm going to break this up into a few different parts in these next few videos and in these next few assignments. We're going to be kind of doing that piece by piece. So at the beginning, we're going to create just the variables, the kind of structure for our ship. In the next video, in the next JavaDraw Classes 2, we're going to actually add some motion and add some, do some other stuff to it. But basically add the methods, and then in the last series we'll add in a bomb class. We'll be able to drop some bombs. This one might be the longest of the videos. We'll see. I'll try and keep it short, but you know, I'm going to do my best. You're always welcome to skip ahead as much as you want. But basically, in this class, in this task, I need to create a spaceship that has these four things. So it should have some health, should have speed, should have direction, and then it should have a shape. So I'm just going to do like a couple ovals, and then I should have two constructors. So I should have overloaded constructors. One where I can create a spaceship that has some default values for health, speed, and shape. And then another one where health and speed are going to be passed in as parameters, and the shape is still going to be kind of two ovals. So that's what I'm going to look to do. Okay, so getting back into it, I did copy the instructions over into here, so we can see kind of everything that we need to be doing here. And I'm just going to work through. I'm going to just create the classes, create my variables right now. I just need to think through. Probably health should be an int. Shape, I'm going to kind of make an array list that we're going to store my shapes in there. My speed and my direction. So let's see. I think we can just see the kind of the variables that we make here. So I just need to make a bunch of like private. I need to make a private health variable. I need to make a private speed variable. I need to make a private in direction. We'll talk about direction in a second. And then I need to do also like an array list. I'm going to find an array that's full of ovals, and I'm going to call that I'm going to call it like shift. One thing it's going to give me an error here, and maybe I'll add the imports for this for you, but maybe not. We just need to make sure we import. We need to import JavaDraw, and we need to import this java.util.star, and this is where like our array lists are stored because they're not really built into Java. Okay, so now that I have these variables, and I don't think I'm in the right class here. Now that I have these variables all defined, I just need to make two constructors. And so when I say overloaded constructor, that means that I should be able to build this spaceship in two different ways. In one case, I'm going to add one other variable in here too that I almost forgot about. In one case, we are going to be passing in basically nothing. Like I'm going to have like a default generic spaceship, and this is really going to pass in very little. I am actually going to have to pass in the screen variable, and I need to actually add that as one of my variables as well. I'll just pass it in as like S. Because basically what you need to give, whenever you create a spaceship object, you're going to have to pass in access to the current screen that you're working with. So if you have like a window open, we need to like send that screen into this class in order for the class to have access to it, to know where to draw the shapes and where to like kind of make that connection between what's happening on our screen and what's happening in our class. So we will need to pass this in. Anytime we're making one of these classes, we're going to have to pass in our screen just to give it access there. And now the one thing we said that these two variables, these two constructors are going to be different. Because the first one takes in kind of nothing, it's just a default generic one. And then I'm going to have this one where it takes in the health, and I'll say like speed. Okay? I don't know, like you could definitely skip forward to this if you feel like you got it. I just want to say make sure some of my default values for these directions equal to 1, and then screen is going to be equal to the value that got passed in. And then kind of the same thing here. Here, I don't know, this is helpful. I was trying to think of a better way of doing this, but hopefully this will just try and make it quick, and you can kind of follow along, and hopefully be able to take these ideas and kind of run with it on your own. So now I have two spaceship objects, two different, not spaceship objects, but I have two different ways of building a spaceship object, and that's really all I wanted for this one. Just going to create a bunch of variables. I thought I had about what variables I would need. I just kind of defined those, and then I made my constructor so I can actually start building spaceships. Oh, and I think the last part that I've kind of left off on here, and I won't go through like, I've already made the spaceship thing before, so I'll just kind of put in the values that I had. But I have all these details for the health and speed, but I don't actually have like, okay, what's it going to look like? So I do need to make sure that I need to, let's say ship is going to be, I need to make sure this is a new array list, and I'm just going to use this as a way of like storing two shapes within an array list within my class, just so I can like mess with it later. Maybe, because if you could have a spaceship with like 10 different parts to it, store them all on an array list, and then when you want to move things, you just move all the elements of the array list. So I'm going to use this to store like the body of my spaceship. I'm going to declare this to be just making a new empty array to begin with, and then let's see, I'm going to pull in some values from some work that I've done previously. Oh, and actually, I was just thinking about this. Actually, I'm going to need one more variable in here because I have the spaceship. I have like the screen. Okay, I know that I want to put it on the screen, but like I'm going to say I need to know exactly where on the screen that I want this thing to appear because I don't want it to necessarily just appear in the same spot every time. Like I might want to have it like wherever I click. You could certainly have it just appear at a certain point, but I think for mine, what I want to do is be able to make it appear whenever I click. So, I was thinking about, okay, I'm going to build my ship. This is just some code I've already written previously, but I need to really know like the location of where is this ship going to get created at. So I'm going to say that just for my example, I'm going to say whenever I create a ship object, I need to take in a location too. So that way I can know kind of where it's going to appear on the screen. And then I just made two variables, pilot and body. There's some ovals on the screen. I said their colors are going to be random in this case. You could certainly maybe take in some parameters for like what colors you want the ship to be. You could kind of define what those are going to be. Mine are just going to be random colors. So I just made those two objects, and then I kind of I made sure that the body, I created the pilot kind of right where the things clicked, and then I'm going to center the body based on the X value and the Y value for the pilot. And then I just added those to my array list called ship. And so I'm just going to repeat this down here as well. And I do need to take a location object. Okay, and that's going to be it for me for right now. Let me just do a quick demonstration of this in action, and then we'll call it a lesson. Alright, so I'm just going to do like I made a mouse down method. I'm going to create a new spaceship called mine, and it's going to be located, so I think I need to pass in, I need to give access to the screen. Let's see, I think it'll tell me, yeah, and in this case I can just pass in loc for my spaceship's location. That should really be enough to make a spaceship. So let's see if we run this. Fingers crossed, this should work. We're just going to create a spaceship kind of, hopefully wherever we clicked. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, no, maybe it did. Maybe just give me some other errors. Yeah, okay, so now I have a spaceship kind of appearing here. It has a bunch of like features to it. It does have health, it does have speed, but we haven't kind of implemented those things yet. It just has these properties of a spaceship. So there we go. We're going to call that a day for this one, and then we will move on to the next one where we're going to start adding in some movement, and yeah, that'll be it.